Welcome back to AfricaCom 2019, where we are accelerating Africa's digital transformation. I'm joined now by Thecla and Mbongue, Senior Analyst at Ovum. Welcome to AfricaCom.
Thank you.
So you moderated a panel yesterday on 5G killer applications for Africa. Is there such a thing? And if so, what is it?
There's no such a thing as a 5G killer application. I've hosted a few panelists, most of them from operator side and also infrastructure supplier side. So from an operator point of view, what has been discussed is that most of the services that are going to be provided, and especially if I take the case of Africa, with 5G technology, are going to be first and foremost the same as in 4G, that is fixed wireless broadband. So faster speeds, less latency. We've also seen services like cloud, and also in the industry, in the industrial field as well, automation, whether for a factory or for a mine as well. IoT as well is a field that is going to be enhanced by the introduction of 5G. And we can also mention gaming as well. E-games obviously and e-sports are going to be enhanced, but if we look at the example of Africa, it's a very small fragment of the population. So for now, the operators are still concentrating on rolling out 4G for the mass, but 5G for now is still forecast to be limited to a few segments of the enterprise users and the high-end users as well. And it's going to be patchy on a territory coverage base.
So when will we see it rolled out across the majority of the continent?
Officially, we've seen it rolled out in 2 markets in Africa. The first one is Lesotho, with Vodacom announcing a launch, and the second one in South Africa announced by the ISP called Rain. So in the case of Lesotho, we can, as an analyst, I will just still consider it as a pre-commercial, basically because it's a network that provides services to only 2 customers, from what I've understood from Vodacom themselves. Whereas for South Africa, there's more expectation. Rain made the announcement last month or so, but we expect them to serve a higher subscriber base in the high-end data users and also in the enterprise segment. But in terms of coverage, we're still talking about patchy coverage and very limited coverage. So full-fledged 5G, if I remember our conversations yesterday with our panelists, a lot of the key stakeholder was talking about 2 or 3 years. Although we're going to have some launches, even next year in South Africa, we are just waiting for the regulator to allocate the spectrum or to auction the spectrum, and that's the case in many other countries. But we don't expect that such launches to really be full-fledged, or in terms of coverage to be really widespread coverage. So let's give it about 2 or 3 years. We're going to hear about launches here and there, but in terms of usage adoption, not such a big uptake.
Okay, and when 5G is more widespread, what role will we see it play in creating a better digital world?
Can you repeat, please?
When 5G is more widespread, what role will it play in creating a better digital world?
Well, just connectivity. Let's not forget that we are on a continent where, in terms of just fixed broadband connectivity, we're not, we will be less than 50% or even less than 20% in terms of fixed broadband. But we're not expecting miracle. We're expecting 5G to enhance broadband access, or not broadband access, sorry, broadband speed, and lower latency, especially for some applications such as gaming, for instance. And so that's essentially what we are expecting to improve productivity in the industry, in the industrial segment, for instance.
Okay, and so what's been the highlight of your AfricaCom so far?
So far, I've been involved in 5G, and I'm going to be involved with the wholesale stream of at AfricaCom. So I would say that my highlight for now has been concentrated on on 5G, and it was very interesting to hear these testimonies and also these views from the key stakeholders. Obviously, the infrastructure suppliers are pushing the technology, but they are still realistic about what can be done. So in terms of highlight for me, it's been the 5G discussion panel that involved Orange Group, MTN as well, infrastructure supplier Huawei, and also Intelsat, which is a satellite provider, and who gave us as well insight on how satellite broadband or satellite technology in general would fit in the 5G ecosystem.
And how would you describe the vibe at the event this year?
Very good, as usually, always big, very diverse, and that really reflects how the technologies are going now. If you just look at 10 years ago here at AfricaCom, it was really just mobile-centric, but the fact that now we have all these content providers and all these vertical segments, these telecoms vertical segments being involved as well, it's getting more and more interesting and very insightful.
Great. Well, I hope you enjoy the rest of the event. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me.
You're welcome.